So hello everybody, thank you so much for joining us again today. It gives me a lot of pleasure to introduce you to one of my Netherlands sisters from the other side of the planet. This is Irna. So thank you so much for joining me today, darling.
Hello, Lee. I like to. Thank you.
Now, can you share with us a little bit about your life before you found our program? Tell us a little bit about what you were doing.
What are my professional doing?
Yeah.
Well, I was a communication specialist, manager, public relations manager, and I was a good organizer in events. But I also was very stuck in myself. I was anxious. I was a great pleaser. And that made me that I was always going down to help others and not to help myself. And that was for a few years that it was getting worse and worse and worse with my health. I got stuck and I got sick. I got in the middle of a burnout. So that was the moment that I knew it's not good what I'm doing. I have to do something that's good for me, but I didn't know how. Yeah.
And that's a common story, isn't it? So being a woman, putting everyone else's needs above their own, resulting in burnout. What did that look like for you?
That burnout I was totally out. My brain stopped, my body stopped, nothing worked anymore. It was the second time in my life that I had a burnout. The first one on my 40th and the second one on my 59th. And I thought that I was struggling all my life with the same things that I didn't manage to work out to make better for myself. I always felt not good enough. I always felt I shouldn't be here. I always felt I can't do it. I can't. I just can't. I'm not good enough. So I had a lot of coaching and therapy and healing all these years after my first burnout. And I knew exactly what I was doing, what I shouldn't be doing, but I didn't manage to do it different. It was still the same cycle that I was running in again and again and again. Yeah.
And but that cycle was a 19-year cycle, did you say? So your first burnout was at 40 years old and your second burnout was at 59. So was that around a 19-year period where you were trying to break that cycle and break that behavior of beating yourself up? Sure. 19 years.
19 years. Yeah, I didn't find a way to solve it. But I was in the transformation process because in that 19 year, I did another education. I did an schooling for innovative training and coaching. I was busy with, how do you call it in English? Constellation work. You know what it is?
Yep.
Energetic work. Well, I managed to know what I was doing, but I wasn't able to solve it for myself. I stepped out of my marriage. That was one of the biggest steps in that 19 years, a kind of new freedom. And in that period that I tried to get my freedom back for myself, I realized, well, what I'm dealing with now, I could help other women with. I knew I could, but I didn't know how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so during that 19-year period, you mentioned that you tried a whole stack of different approaches and modalities and therapies. I'm guessing that they all helped you to some degree. You were able to improve your life circumstances for a little while, and then the cycle would reappear.
Yes. It was always had to do with people who triggered me that I didn't feel good enough. It was always the people, certain kind of people that I couldn't turn my back to because they weren't good for me or they did something to me what was not good for me. But I didn't know how to manage with this. They were kind of narcissistic people that always could trigger me. And I couldn't deal with it. And that made that I was always getting down, 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 down. So it was, I know what was going about with me. I looked at myself. I thought, see what you're doing. You're doing it again. Why are you doing it? And the same thing happened the moment that I had discovered Creatrix. I saw on Facebook a message from Nicolien from Holland, your Dutch trainer. And I thought, wow, that's my story. That's about me. So I had a good talk with her, and she said, well, I think you shouldn't only do the healing for yourself, the creator's project for yourself. I think you're a very good, experienced woman who can do the course because you can help other women. And I thought, yes, that's it. And still, I was not able to make that step for myself. And my love, my partner, he said to me, you're doing it again, eh? You're not choosing for yourself. You're doing it again. What are you doing? When are you taking this step? So I needed someone who told, do it. Said to me, do it, just do it. Well, and that's when I took the step. Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it? So you went on this cycle for 19 years where you were trying all these different things. The symptoms, for a better word, would reappear. Then you find this new solution that kind of looks like it could be what you're looking for. And yet that sabotaging belief of not being good enough and not being worthy of investing your time and your money still continued to pop its ugly head up. So aside from the support that you had from your partner, what was it that made you decide? Because at the end of the day, it's the individual woman that still has to decide to make the change. What was it that after 19 years of trying to break a cycle, what made this time different?
This time was different because there was nothing left of me. Everything was out. And in that time that I had the burnout, it was September 2017, I had a trip planned to Australia. And exactly in that moment, Creatrix came on my path via Facebook. And I realized, well, that's strange. I'm going to Australia and Creatrix is developed in Australia. What the fuck is this? So, and I went to Australia. I was still sick, but I could do it. Traveling around with a little camper van, and we were at 12 Apostles, the South Coast. Mm-hmm. And I saw these rocks in the water, this magic, big, solid, powerful rocks, that authentic nature. And I had the feeling, well, I'm going to do it different. I want to feel this. What I feel here, I want to feel in my life, the power, the authenticity, the realness. Well, and that's where I decided I don't go back to my job. I just don't. It's ready. I'm going to do it different. And that was also the moment that I actually knew I would go to take the step to Creatrix. Yeah, that was the moment. But I was at
and it's funny how that one decision can then change so much moving forward. So once you made the decision, what happened?
There was a new energy, and I'm going to do it different. There was a new energy that helped me to take the steps that I needed to take. So, and that was also the moment that I was ready to take the step to Creatrix, with a little bit of help from my husband.
So that was in 2017. Did you say that was in 2017?
To take a step to Creatrix was Yes, but I had this trip first, and that confirmed me that I had to do it.
Yeah.
And then it was 2000. I had to recover first from my burnout. So I took a year to get straight and can come back to myself a little bit. And then in June 2019, I did the course. Yeah, I did the course.
So that was June 2019. So what happened? Talk to me about the actual course. So you trained in 2019. What was that experience like for you?
Well, it was a great experience of getting freed myself in a bunch of beautiful women uh, who were the same as I was, were struggling and wanting to help themselves, set themselves free, feeling the urge to help other women as well. So that was all together there in that first course of a week, practical, doing the Creatrix on each other to free ourselves and to help ourselves free from all the issues that we are dealing with. So it was 1 week of experience of getting free, seeing the other women getting free and feel free myself. So it was, whoa, what's happening here? I was flabbergasted. I was so happy when I went back home. I didn't know what I felt. It was a new me. I felt really free. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
How did it compare to all of the things that you'd tried previously? So in that 19 years before you found Creatrix, how did the process compare to the other things that you had tried?
Well, I think this is really life-changing. This is, I can't go back doing the things I did like I did it before. I really can't. And the years before, I just was getting a little bit better, and then was happening something, and then boink, I was in the old circle again. It was for a short time. I felt better. Yeah. I could take some steps. It also helped me to take a step to the divorce, to step out of the marriage that wasn't good for me anymore. But after a few, 1 year, half year, 2 years, I was getting down again. So it never helped me to have the power to go on because I couldn't deal with the little me, the little thing in me that was keeping myself back. And that little thing is gone. It's just gone. Yeah. And that's great.
I think it's really, because that's one of our most significant points of difference too, isn't it? It's the long-term results that we're able to experience ourselves personally, but then also for our clients. So to know that you did this, it works for a little while, but then I slip back into a bad pattern, and then it works for a little bit and I get a little bit better, but then I fall back down again. How has the change result and the outcome positively impacted your life in that you haven't gone up and then bounced back? What's that done for you?
Yeah. That's very special. It's 1.5 years or almost, I think 1.5 years ago that I did the course. And from that moment on, my life is completely different. I wouldn't go back in that life I had before. I can't think of it even. The way I had in the beginning, a year ago, I thought I can do my job, what I had as a communication manager and an event organizer. I can do it together with my practice that I was developing. Whoa, but it didn't work. I felt in whole my body that I couldn't do the old job anymore. I didn't belong there anymore. It was not good to me. It took out of me all the energy I had. So I decided to quit my job. And from that moment on, my practice was getting in a flow, in a kind of, whoa, what's happening? So yeah, and in January this year or February this year, again, I came back from Australia, from a little trip from 2 months. And I thought, now I'm going to start with my practice. Well, I was ready with my job and I had a little time out in Australia and I came back and now I'm going. Well, and then came Corona. Oh, I was ready for all the live sessions, all the live workshops, all the live events I had developed, but I couldn't do it anymore. So I had a new, I don't know the word, uitdaging, we say in Dutch. I had something to do about it, but I was stuck. I was stuck again.
Yep.
Because I thought,
new glass ceiling, a new limitation.
I don't understand what you say now. Sorry.
Sorry, a new obstacle arose because of the Corona situation, and you had to, pivot.
A new issue. Online working, that's nothing for me. Making online meetings, making online workshops. Nah, I won't do that. I can't do that. I can't. I just can't. So I had to create something, my sister. And now, since that is gone, I can do my work everywhere online. So I'm traveling and working. So that's for me kind of, well, if you don't have all these beliefs and blockages and fear, you can do anything. And you just listen to what you want to do. Do it.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing now. So it's kind of living my dream. Really. Yeah. Yeah.
So there's two questions that I've got for you, but based on what you experienced, and because again, this is a really common experience. A woman will train in a modality. She'll learn a new skill and she puts a plan in place of this is how I'm going to execute what I've learned. And then life happens and we are triggered to have all these new limiting beliefs show up. Now, in the ordinary world, that would then set women to go straight back into another sabotaging cycle where all of those limiting obstacles, like the I can't do this, stop us from proceeding forward. But as a transformologist, it's very different for us because we've got this in-house support system. So you experienced this new block. How did knowing that you had a community of worldwide sisters available to you to help you through those challenges so that you could come to the other side of it and continue to live your dream life, how did that personally impact your life, knowing that that support system was there?
Yeah, that's very important. If that support wouldn't be there, it would be very difficult to spare and to help. And I think every transformologist is finding new issues on her path, on her way. And this is the only way to put up your level, to get better and better and a better transformologist, and to do it together. That's cold. That's really cold. That sister network that's helping and supporting each other, it's really cold. And that's exactly also something that I really missed when I had all the old therapies and trajects and coaches. It was finished and you were left alone. So that's what I'm doing now with my ex-clients. We have a group. All my ex-clients are in a group and they are sparing with each other now. So I learned from the Institute how you help your clients. So it's a very good example for how you can help your women, also to let them help each other. And sometimes they come back to me. So it's without the support of the network of sisters, it wouldn't work, I think. Also with the questions and the needs that I have to develop myself to get a better transformologist, I can't do it without my sister network. I can't.
Yeah,
it's cold. Yeah.
So once you'd experienced the obstacles that coronavirus threw, which was a worldwide, I did a post about this the other day. For something like Corona, there were two lines of thinking that people could fall into. It was, well, Corona's happened and now I can use this as an excuse because I can't do this and I can't do that because COVID's here. And then there's this other stream of people that went, okay, well, Corona's here. What can I do? And so you identified all of the I can'ts and all of the fears and the limitations. You worked on those to free yourself. What then happened in your business when you were able to clear yourself from those limiting beliefs and redirect your focus on what you could do? What's happened for you in your business in the last 10 months?
Well, my business came in the flow because there were a lot of women, other women, who liked the online way more. So there came a new target market. I discovered that Creatrix, the process of the Creatrix transformation works much more better online. Faster, better, the results are quicker and easier for me and the client. And it's also a way of online working is for me also now a way to get my new clients, because I'm just telling my story on Facebook and on LinkedIn, and that's it. I even don't have a website, and all the clients are just coming. They're just coming. So it's
and
about,
that links back to what you were saying earlier about being authentic, doesn't it?
Oh, I didn't hear that very good. Can you repeat it, please?
Absolutely. I said that marketing your story links back to your desire to be authentic that you were mentioning at the beginning of our conversation, and about how important that is. You're authentically just being yourself, and as a result of that, you're in flow and you're attracting clients who are ready for that level of empowerment.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's all about the great difference with who I was before is that I now just tell who I am, what I am, and how I want to do it. And that is exactly what the women on the other side want to go, but don't know how. So it's exactly the story that they recognize, and that's what they tell me when they once in my program. They tell me, well, Irna, I have been following you for months and I've been reading all your stories, and one night I thought, yes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to contact her. So that's confirming me that I just have to go on telling my story. They will come. They will need me, and I can help them. And that's such a great, it's such a great, powerful gift that I can do for the women. It's really, I like these women on the other side of the screen that I see go to the other side every time a little bit more. It's so fulfilling. Yeah, it's great.
So one of my favorite questions to ask in these conversations is, when you are working with another woman on the screen and you have that initial phone call with her where you can see that she's really struggling with whatever it is that's holding her back. And then you've got that process where you work with her and you slowly start to peel back the layers. You get her to that other side where she can look at her issues list and say, there's nothing on here that causes me any problems anymore. What does that feel like for you as a facilitator, as someone who's been around you've been around the block a few times with different modalities and different approaches? How does it feel for you as the facilitator of a process that A, you can guarantee an outcome, and B, to actually watch that woman free herself from all of her burdens? What's that like?
At this moment is one of the most important things for me to do. I can't find the words how great it is, how special it is, what I can do for these women. I'm grateful, very grateful that I can
Yep.
do it, and it makes me very happy that I can do this. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And
grateful
what's
and
it like
happy.
for you? You said you've got this support group now of your existing clients. So for you to be the facilitator of now a whole group of women who are free and are helping each other, how does that feel for you, knowing that it's because you made the decision to empower yourself first, that you are now able to influence all of those women who in turn are influencing the people in their lives? How does that ripple effect feel for you, knowing that it's all because of your one decision to do this?
Well, it feels as a little drop in the water, and it's spreading, it's spreading, it's spreading, it's spreading. That's what I feel. And every woman that was my client and is free now is also a drop and will spreading, spreading, spreading. So that is how it feels. And what I like so much about these women, that they are helping me now. When I'm giving a workshop, they step in and they tell their story to all the women. They don't only hear it from me, but also from other women who experience it. So it is getting a group of women who are together doing the cool thing for other women. So that is that big circle that's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah. So does it feel. That makes me happy.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, it's awesome. Really awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Well,
so if there was another, you go.
No, you go.
Oh, I was just going to say, so if there was a woman watching this conversation and she can resonate with you in that she's maybe trapped in a job that's not really serving her, she's in an environment that's not letting her live her best life. As a result of that, she's starting to feel burned out. She's recognizing that there's this cycle of sabotage happening. What would you say to her to encourage her to follow her heart and follow her gut and actually make the decision to change her life?
If you see the Creatrix is a possibility to change your life, and you feel that little spark inside of you, in your guts, that you know, yes, that's what I want. Do it. Just do it. Change your life. Yeah, that's the only thing I can say. If you feel it, do it. Because that's true. That's honest. And that's what you have to do then. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you had, let me think of words. If there was some advice that you could give to another professional woman who was considering either a career change or advancing her skills to learn a process like what we do, what encouragement would you give her from a professional perspective, knowing that in the last 10 months, you've been able to leave your job, you're traveling now, you haven't been impacted by coronavirus, so you've got security in the business that you've established for yourself, and the biggest draw card is you've helped all of these women to be able to go and live their best lives. What encouragement would you give to another woman if she was in this position that you were in back in 2019 before you did the course?
Yeah, well, if you feel that you are not at the right spot, you have to start with come to yourself, find yourself again, so that you can make the right decisions. And my decision was, I come from a very different kind of job that doesn't have anything to do with coaching or therapy, and I stepped in a totally different kind of job. But it worked. If you feel that you can help people, if you want to help other women, there is a possibility to learn it, because Creatrix is a way that works so authentically, so women like, and it will be a great discovery for you to feel the gratefulness and the happiness to help others. And it is a very, very, very beautiful, nice process to help other women setting free. It is a beautiful process. It's gold for everyone as well, especially for the clients, but also for the transformatives to work with. It's pure gold. Yeah.
And so what are you looking forward to, looking into the next year? What are you most excited about for yourself and your business?
Well, every new woman that's coming to me, that's my excitement. It is not the great vision that I have. The feeling that I have is to help women set themselves free. And I take it step by step. I want to enjoy it. I want to help. I want to enjoy the result. I want to keep these women around me, to spare and to enjoy. But I take it step by step, and I don't make the big movements. My heart says, do what you can, because it's also the part, my life moment. I'm 62 now. Mm-hmm. I don't have a big career ahead, but I just do what I like to do, what makes me happy, and that's my perspective. And travel. I travel and do that, and in that combination, it's perfect for me. Yeah.
Yeah, wise words. Take it step by step and do what makes you happy.
Yeah. Don't do the big things because you don't know where you are in 2 years. Do what you have to do now to feel good, to be happy, and to do what you have to do, what you feel that you have to do. That's the great. That's what it's about. Do what you have to do, but take a little step every time. Yeah.
I love that.
And yeah, me too. and that's the new me, because in the early days I was going all the way and I didn't know where I was myself. But now I'm here with myself and doing the things like I want to do, and that's what I wish every woman to come so close to herself that she knows from her heart how she has to do it. It will come, it will happen, it will flow, it will go if you listen to yourself. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, darling, thank you so much for your time today. I like it. And I can understand. I can see why your clients are attracted to you, darling, because you are just authentically being yourself. You're not trying to be anyone other than who you are in this very moment, sharing from your heart. And that's, ultimately that's the key to success for women, isn't it? By being able to do that, we avoid all of the things that cause burnout by just coming back to self and taking that next step that makes you feel good.
Right. I agree. Yes, that's
well, thank you so much for your time today. I know it's what time is it over there in the Netherlands?
It will be 10:30 in the morning.
10:30 in the morning. Well, you have an amazing day being productive and connecting to the women that I know are just so grateful to have you in their life, because you gave yourself the gift so that you could then in turn pay it forward and help other women. And in the last 10 months, I know that you've done a lot of that, and I look forward to watching you do even more of that in the future.
We go, eh? Go, girl.
Girl power.
Yeah, girl power.
Oh, I just got a frog in my throat. Thank you so very much, darling. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Bree. It was a pleasure for me as well. I like to do it very much. Yeah. Thank you.